Welcome back to Fox Netball. We're in beautiful Queensland as we commemorate this Anzac round, and it'll be the Sunshine Coast Lightning up against the defending champs, the Adelaide Thunderbirds, that will kick us off in round 3. Here is the list, and if you go straight to the bottom, highlighted is the captain, Steph Fretwell, starting on the bench. We saw that ankle roll in the game against the West Coast Fever last week, maybe not quite up to scratch.
Yeah, look, the travelling team, the Thunderbirds, are starting with Aitken, George, Frew and Horges in the front line, with Taylor Williams, Wilson, Garrett and the Sterling Humphreys show at goalkeeper.
Yeah, we saw her quite emotional during the commemoration at the start, but they're underway here and it's taken them no time at all. There's that battle that we talked about, and that is the first of many tussles between those two.
No love lost there. Latanya Wilson let Liz Watson know right in front of her parents here that she's come to play.
Yeah, her parents are sitting right next to us. The commentary bench already had a good hello to them. They've been here enjoying the sunshine, said they don't want to go home to the cold.
They definitely don't want to go home with a loss either, so they'll be cheering hard.
Oh, you see Irvine there inching out of the circle. So good to see that she's really prepared to come off Aitken George early, maybe have a crack at some of those long
That's
balls.
what they'll need to do, the Lightning, if they lose their centre pass. Their inefficiency last week, dropping from 90% against the Swifts to only 62 against the Fever, so they won't like that turnover.
Nearly through the hands of Tilly, Garrett, Wilson. Williams. Long ball, well, probably a bit too long, even for the likes of Romelda, Aitken George. And the Sunshine Coast come up with it. Through the middle, Cassidy, Irvine. Courtney Bruce does so much attack work. And there she is again, ball in hand, Courtney Bruce. Cassidy. Bruce opens up the shoulder, swings it to Mai. Conan out of the circle. Well, they're not struggling for options here early, are they, the Lightning?
No, they've got definitely 3 options at every pass. The accountability down court really lifted from last week. As you see, Batcheldor missed that shot. First one of the game for her.
So a couple of quick turnovers. And who's going to capitalise on it first? Over the top, Shamira Sterling Humphrey. She's in the air for a long time, isn't she? So it's always a long way to fall. Horges waits patiently. Williams, Horges. Well, one thing is for sure, Georgie Horges will touch a lot of the game ball. Through the tip from Irvine. Well, have a look at Courtney Bruce trying to lean right through Aitken George.
Trying to get under the skin of Romelda Aitken George, but she's been around the block a long time and come up against Bruce many a time, so she will give back as good as she gets.
The most games played by anyone in this competition goes to Romelda Aitken George, 216.
You wouldn't believe it. She's been around since she's 18 years old, moved fresh from Jamaica. She still can't seem to nail those shots right under the post after all
They are
that
the
time.
hardest ones, Kira. Thank you, defender. Back in your box.
Good to know.
Have a look at the work here. Courtney Bruce looks at the umpire. Why can't I lean through the player? Oh, that's a great quick one too. Use the speed instead of the height that time.
That second phase connection between Frew and Horges was excellent, that centre pass. Lots of depth off the centre pass.
Well, just like that too, the Lightning find themselves at the top of the circle through Mai. Batcheldor has to go all the way back. Cassidy, Mai, Watson. Well, that's how good she is. Takes a big hit, but grounds the feet, gets the ball off anyway.
The Lightning will really want to keep Shamira Sterling out of this first 5 minutes. As we see a touch there from Matilda Garrett, just not enough on that pass.
Well, the way to keep her out of action, right on cue, is to keep the ball out of the air. That's exactly what Riley Batcheldor just pounced on.
And they spoke during the week, the Lightning, they wanted to use the ball movement to get that going. As you see in the Harvey Norman replay, Riley Batcheldor never switched off there, turned the ball over for her team.
How calmly did she take that intercept too? Oh, Courtney Bruce, the big swat. Frew was prepared probably too early. Oh, Bruce.
Held ball there, held ball. Great hands over, she got the call. The Sunshine Coast crowd here, ecstatic with that call.
Conan My, no one on her. She's found herself at the top of the circle more than a few occasions. Well, I mean, that's just a silly ball to place over Sterling Humphrey, surely.
That's another feed that was just telegraphed in and just didn't have enough height. You can't underestimate Shamira Sterling. She didn't even leave the ground for that intercept.
So deflections early. Sunshine Coast Lightning a couple there and one intercept their way. Williams, Garrett, Horges. Over the top to Williams, safe space. Well, that one, a much better approach, much safer with the ball placement, the Adelaide Thunderbirds.
This will be a test here for the Lightning, only sitting on 33% for their centre pass to goal rate. We see another mistake off their centre pass.
Oh, it's a defender show. Garrett cleans one up, right back at her, says Courtney Bruce.
I'd really love to see Mai just take a second, just when she gets the ball, just to get steady before she uses that dynamic power of hers.
Lightning persisting with the high ball early days. I would love to see Cara Conan get on the dodge. She can exploit that baseline better than anyone in the game. We've just lost another ball. Through. Horges doesn't want to go to post. Moves it around. Romelda Aiken-George opens up beautifully. Was a screen, though, that Frew set on to create that space for her. And look at that. Thunderbirds out by 3. Centre pass to follow.
And this is all down to just the centre pass to goal rate for the Lightning. They're turning the ball over when it's their centre pass. Coach Belinda Reynolds won't be happy with that start. As we see a great intercept there from Courtney Bruce. She's keeping her team in this game at the moment.
Well, they almost threw it directly at her. When it was Williams too that was guilty of it. The best possible way to get yourself out of a rut when you throw a bad pass, get it back.
Green light behaviour there, Kath. She's got the ball back for her team.
Never heard that before.
Well, we see a time called, not surprising.
Yeah, let's go to the Sunshine Coast. Lightning, the HCF technical timeout. Here's the work. Courtney Bruce takes the intercept cleanly. And then right back to Williams. So no doubt Belinda Reynolds wants to maybe address that centre pass conversion, as you say, not looking good, sitting at 25%. We'll get down, though, and have a listen to Tanya Obbs.
You need to remember who's working, who's penetrating down, who's then on the short one. If it's a short, then you go in. If there's an error, if there's a tipper thing, let's just regroup. Our skill is king, okay? Regroup, move the ball as well if we need to, but someone has to go for the width to open up. Let's go. We've got this. It's right now. Good job. Let's go. 1, 2, Lightning. Get 3,
The word regroup from Coach Belinda Reynolds. She talked about it during the read. It's about the resilience. When you make a mistake, not letting that turn into 2 or 3 in a row. But the intercepts have been strong from the Lightning, but as soon as they win the ball, they're turning it back over to the opposition. So they really need to treasure their possession and ensure that when they do get the ball, they're able to use it and go to goal so that the supply is still there.
Yeah, well, they're firing. They've got 4 gains already, as you say, so they're winning the ball back.
As you see there on the screen, you've got the Thunderbirds 3 goals from gain, so they're definitely leading, sitting on 75% for their gain to goal rate, so they are capitalising.
Watson, Batcheldor, good vision long. We saw Batcheldor want to get on with the job. Goes through Conan. So the best way to come out after a timeout, particularly when your coach has just said settle down, is to get one through to a safe goal. Katrina Rore sitting on the sideline for us, one of the best defenders to play the game. Anything in particular you're noticing out there, Katrina?
Yeah, as we're talking about how the turnovers and the position changes are way too high for the first quarter at the moment, and in that timeout we did hear Tanya talk to her defence about bringing the ball through the court a lot safer, a lot better, get out of the way, pass and cut and get down the court safely.
Well, let's see if they can do exactly that. Cara Conan could not get the ball up. So good was the lead from Tilly Garrett. They'll take their time here. The experience of Liz Watson, the Australian Diamonds captain, slow to take it. Have a breather. Everyone just calm down for a second and let's sink a goal. Well, they can't through Batcheldor. No surprises who cleans up the rebound. Have a look at those rebounds there. 3 zip. Oh, the tip too from Irvine from the back. Through. Looks for someone. It's Hoare just right behind her. Love to see that though. Attacking the ball, wants it back, and it dribbles in for it. Sitting at 2 from 3. Lauren Frew. Williams, long ball. And that one was still from distance, but it had enough on it, didn't it?
Got enough space there and enough time. I thought defensively, Lisa Maimai just retreated there, needs to get the hands up early, try and block that vision to give her defender a hand. So we see another loose ball.
And we see Kira take it beautifully on one hand. You've still got it.
It's my AFL skills, I think, more than anything there, Liz.
Well, you saw Williams look into the circle for quite a while then, was prepared to focus firstly on Aiken-George through. Well, they double back on Aiken-George whenever she's got the ball, so she's really got to play it out and go again herself.
Thunderbirds coach Tanya Ops will be really happy with this 1-point netball that they're wanting to get on top of. 10-3, they're leading with the centre pass. A huge start for the Thunderbirds.
Massive start when you consider some of the names in this Lightning team. And this is not the way they would have wanted to respond from that massive loss last week. They didn't win a quarter in their game against the West Coast Fever.
And we heard Belinda Reynolds say in the pre-chat there, Kath, that the start was so important. As we see Riley Batcheldor just out-muscled by Matilda Garrett there, not able to get the ball. They really are missing Steph, and I wonder how many minutes she is able to play today.
Just what I was going to pose to you. We've heard she's on limited minutes, and it's the long game for her, making sure she's right for the season. There she is, and she's been given the nod right as we speak. The warm-up T-shirt comes off, and the master is going to enter the game for the Lightning.
I can't believe this scoreboard, to be honest, Kath. They're sitting at 3 goals.
Well, Steph Wood is good. Steph Fretwell, apologies, but has she got 10 goals in her? We've just heard the start of the Power 5 siren. Here she is, straight onto the court. Well, they need turnover first and foremost, the Lightning, and then needless to say, I think they're going to have to go some long shots as Irvine gets a hand in. Aiken just wants it up and over. Well, I think Belinda Reynolds knows the position they're in as well, because in the back of play, Cara Conan is off. Batcheldor is into goal shooter, so she's got her 2 long-distance shooters on the court.
Cara Conan sitting on a great touch there from Ash Irvin. Can't pull that one in. Cara Conan, I'll say, sitting on -26 for a Nissan net point. So beautiful intercept, but unlucky there for Courtney Bruce.
-26 in less than 1 quarter is massive, and Liz Watson, -14.5.
As we see on the Harvey Norman replay there, Courtney Bruce doing everything she can to get the crowd on their side, and the scoreboard still ticking away for the Thunderbirds here, up to 15 goals to 3.
12 the difference. I don't think anyone could truly get their head around this. It's not 12 the difference. Look at Courtney Bruce and Garrett. Well, it's all defenders sitting the top 3. Missing their points powered by E-Power.
A lot of contact down this end of the court for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. 7 penalties, a lot of hands on the ball and hands on the feet as we see Taylor Williams out of play on the outside, or Matilda Garrett.
Okay, so Steph Wood came onto the court. She's not there now.
No, they've used that to have a positional change, I believe, to be able to get Cara Conan out to goal attack. So it's a little shifty move there from Belinda Reynolds, tricking us all.
Well, trick it did. I had to scan the entire court then to find out where she had gone. Steph Fretwell, 10 the difference. So it will be a tactical timeout to the Thunderbirds, which is really interesting given the position they're in. What is it, do you think, Tanya Orbs wants? Well, let's get down and have a listen.
Okay, let's remember, okay, so shooters playing our role, yeah, mid-court, where are we around the circle edge? Wing defence, goal defence, think about our repositioning on the reset line if we need that, yeah? Just be, like,
they're setting up into that split circle, and then that one, and then they're coming out. So we need to keep it short down, almost little double plays.
We shouldn't give that ball. We should have someone like punching through.
Yeah. Okay, remember these general principles and how we play. Just be mindful, Loz, when you're around circle each, the arms. So they're not going to have hands over, they're going to attack it out of your hands. So they'll be here and then attack it. So
When Kara gets it outside, can we follow that chase? Okay, we all know our roles, yeah? What kind of pass are we going out? Yep, perfect, we all know our roles. Let's go out and have some fun. Here we go. Volley time. 1, 2, 3, see guys, let's go.
Well, a really interesting call, isn't it? Any time out to a team that's up by so much. What does Tanya Robbs want from them?
She really wants her team to make sure they keep the ball short and sharp. They've identified defensively that the Lightning are splitting the circle and coming out and having a crack. She wants her attacking players to really drive to the circle edge. You don't have any better defensive pressure than you would at training for the Thunderbirds, playing against Shamira Sterling every week. So they would have great practice in keeping the ball low and sharp. Not what she asked for right there,
Not at all, was it? I'd love to know how Belinda Reynolds is feeling as well after that timeout. What was the input over there, Katrina?
Gosh, very animated over there. She needs her pressure to go up. She needs ball and she needs it now. She's telling everyone the pressure needs to go up. And in that shooting circle too, she's asking for a lot more movement from those shooters. One pop top, one go around, but just keep it going.
Katrina, who was taking the lead from a captaincy point of view? Did you hear Liz give any stirring words, or was it coming from Steph?
To be honest, I heard Belinda more often going and just pretty much just saying, I think I heard the word pressure about 10 times, so she needs that ball.
Well, still sits at 10 the difference. I was watching that huddle and it was Fretwell and Watson together on the side having a good chat. So both know each other extremely well from the Australian Diamonds and now new teammates. Well, that was just beautifully set up from Aiken George. Not enough on it though. You can see she puts the hand up, lifted up. Well done, Irvine though. She's been in and amongst it a lot in this first quarter, Kira.
Absolutely. She's had her hands on 4 deflections. She's been able to turn the ball over for her team. And the challenge now, as I've said again, is being able to get it down to their scoring end as we turn the ball over. But luckily for them, Romelda Aiken George has gone offside, so they'll be able to retain it. They're just having trouble connecting here down court, sitting currently on 25% for their game to goal rate. So they're just not rewarding their defenders for the hard work.
Watson, well, they've got just over a minute here. And yeah, Cara Conan knows it. They've got to get to the white arc. They've got to get to the Suncorp super shot territory and get some points back.
Batcheldor for 2.
Overcooks it, the rebound though, where is it? Well, again, it falls the way of the Adelaide Thunderbirds. And Sterling Humphrey, Georgie Horges, the full 360. They can take their time here, the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Horges. Williams, well, Courtney Bruce. It was a gamble, a long way from the ball. And Aiken doesn't want to shoot anything from distance either. Well, they're well and truly milking the clock, and I don't know that it's deliberately for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Frew dribbles it in. 11 the difference. Can the Lightning score here? Well, they've got to get to the circle and do it quickly. They're going to run out of time here. Nathan Begley, the umpire, tries to control it, but little too late for the Sunshine Coast Lightning. The home team absolutely shocked by the Adelaide Thunderbirds in this opening quarter. The Thunderbirds leading by 11.
and then a strong angle at the ball. Almost central sometimes rather than on the 45, then we know that we'll enter. We need our change of pace as well, yes? We need to take the ball strong. At the moment, we're not taking it like they're riding us. Take the ball strong, yes? Good job in there, really great job. That one out to the through, which forces the back ball, then we're in front space. Take away that front ball. We want them in the air the whole time in that circle, yes? On those loose balls, I know they're hard sometimes, but just expect those loose, just be those loose. I know, one of those days, they'll fall our way. We're just having that intensity. Good job on the centre pass there.
Yeah, maybe we can try and push them together when they're at the tackle edge, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
Or whatever, yeah.
And then step up so they've got no lateral ball.
Yeah.
You want the long ball so they can have a crack at it. Just if they go back behind the centre pass and their centre pass go into structure, I think we need to win something. Box, if they just go backwards, yeah? If they go back, if they receive centre pass behind the circle, go into structure. Yeah. We're actually confusing our space. That's where we win the ball.
I was going to say, I feel like when we're doing that, confusing that thing.
Yeah.
When they go back, and if they get touched, you can off that ball, but like if you take away something else to get them off the track.
We've got so much ball. Yeah, and we're not treasuring it, guys. We need to lock in. When we win ball, we need to treasure that possession, right? So get your hips around, give the little shitty ball. Once you've given it, drive. Be another option the next one, fill their space. Okay? So the shitty ball has to go quick though.
Remember, if they don't touch on the pass.
All right, big things, let's go. Partners onto every ball. We need strong change of direction. Don't get on long runs. We need finesse and touch on our passes. The finishes need to come. Alrighty, we'll get ourselves back in this game. I know we can. We're defensively across the board is very, very good. Now we need just control, momentum in attack. Alright, let's go. This is our call.
4, 3, 2, 1. One more. Put those fingers down. Oh, it's a time contest. Do we have official counters here? I think we have our winner.
We can't wait to see you back here with all that stuff to cheer on Sunshine Coast Lightning.
Long runs. We need finesse and touch on our passes. The finishes need to come. Alrighty, we'll get ourselves back in this game. I know we can. We're defensively across the board is very, very good. Now we need just control, momentum in attack. Alright, let's go. This is our call.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Well, you heard it very clearly out of the mouth of the head coach of the Sunshine Coast Lightning, Belinda Reynolds, as they find themselves down by 11. She thinks defensively they're doing a good job. In attack is where the problem is. We've had a quick look at the stats. Kira, fire some at me.
Well, they're sitting currently, Kath, on 33% from their centre pass to goal rate. Just to give you a bit of perspective on that, they were 62% against the Fever and 92% against the Swifts. So they have just lost momentum and connection in their forward line. They are missing Fretwell, but Liz Watson and Mai just haven't been able to get that connection off the centre pass and are turning over a lot of ball. I found it really interesting. Belinda Reynolds said, this is our court, and they're not playing to the level that they expect of each other, and I think we'll see a significant lift.
Well, that was the end of quarter time, brought to you by Origin Energy. Williams in the centre circle to get us underway, and they'd really love to continue to form the Adelaide Thunderbirds, won't they? Put the foot down on the throat. Straight over the top, Aiken George, Williams. Through, beautiful timing, follow-up lead. And the block from Irvine, well, she's been good. That's the great defence that Belinda Reynolds was talking about.
And now the challenge for the Lightning is to be able to look after this ball as we see them treasuring possession and trying to get it down court without turning it over.
Yeah, she said, I want you to let go, and I'll censor this, of the crappy little ball to keep possession and to get the flow. Don't go looking for anything too fancy. Again, they try and go over the top of Sterling Humphrey, who's not having a bar of it.
Welcome to the SSN court, Lisa Maimai. Sterling Humphrey will get every ball that goes up in the air. She needs to work smarter and move the ball around.
Let's get down to Katrina Roy. Had a little ear in on the Adelaide Thunderbirds huddle at quarter time, Katrina.
Yeah, they're really happy with how the attacking centre pass are going against the wall from the Lightning. So the wall is when the centre, the wing D and the goal D are all coming over the line and making a wall so the Thunderbirds attack can't get through. But they're getting through and Tanya's really happy with that. But she wants them to recognise the mismatch. When Courtney Bruce is on the wing attack, Frew needs to get to the circle and they know they can make a bucket off that mismatch.
Well, you are quite the little spy. That was some great pickups. Thank you, Katrina. And there's no reason for her not to be happy after that opening quarter, is there? Watson. Bacheldor out of the circle. You see Garrett have a fly at it. Bacheldor again at the top. Well, Cara Conan is covered on that base. Protects that little space beautifully, though.
Did a really good job there, Cara Conan, of just keeping that protected space in front of her, as you said, Kath. And Lisa Maimai thread the needle through 4 players to find her under the post.
Yeah, it really is just ball placement letting them down at this stage, and that was a very good example of how a great ball can win out.
The only way to beat Shamira Sterling Humphrey is the ball speed. She is athletically strong. She's potent in defence. You need to get the ball moving to get her head going.
Well, Frew has been good, sitting at 6 from 8, so great support for Aiken George at the moment, who's just the one miss, sitting on 93%. Watson, the quick double, and again, well, 2 double plays in a row for Lizzie Watson, trying to ignite something in this attack line for the Lightning.
Much better centre position there from Liz Watson to feed that ball in, open up the angle. Strong finish there from Cara Conan. As we see the defensive wall again from the Lightning, as Katrina spoke about, it is giving the Thunderbirds a lot of space in second phase. All of the Lightning players are over the line.
Yeah, the initial plan is to block them, but if you get through it, then you really are exploited in the second phase, aren't you?
You really do want Asher Irvine to come out and have a look and have a crack at that ball as she picks up that rebound and they come down court with a bit of momentum. The first time we've seen transition from the Lightning with speed.
Watson, Bacheldor up the middle. Well, Watson and Wilson again, and still.
They're going at it on the outside of the circle. Every ball is contested from Laddie Wilson.
Bacheldor needs to sink this. It'll be their centre pass to follow.
This will be for 4 in a row, I think, for the Lightning. They've had a really good start to this second quarter, much needed.
Well, they're still finding themselves down by that 10 goals, but they are up in this quarter, 3-2. Watson. Well, unlucky, just through the hands of Bacheldor, and that's the last thing you want to see happen when they're starting to get some momentum.
Let's not forget it is Riley's first start in SSN this year. She's come back from 2 knee reconstructions against the best defensive unit in the SSN competition. So well, sorry to cut you off then. I thought she was a very good chance of pulling that ball in. Timed it beautifully. Will not say die though, will she? Got herself straight back into the circle and into great contesting position. And that's how she's earned that position today, Cass. She's got that goalkeeper bib and she's having a crack. Well, she's not going to give it to anyone else if she keeps this up. Let's have a look at this Harvey Norman replay. Absolutely worth having a crack, but look how quickly she gets herself back in. And a millimetre away from getting some of those balls off Aiken George.
Lightning!
Both Lightning players caught over the centre pass line there. They will want to try and find some depth off that second phase. And again, another contact penalty on the outside of the circle.
Liz Watson is getting smashed every time she catches a ball. And of course that's going to be your game plan because she is the playmaker.
At what point, Kath, would you move her into centre just to get more free-flowing, trailing, just attacking work where she can get off the body? I think that might be an option for the Lightning going into the second half of this quarter.
Well, most certainly if they're not going to put Fretwell on the court, as I say that, I see her meander onto the court in the back of play. Courtney Bruce not happy. Thought that was a good challenge. Oh, Aiken George, the smarts with the screen.
This is a challenge for Courtney Bruce. She's coming up against a player she's probably not played much netball against. Third game in, she really probably needs to lift her work rate on the first ball. We see Steph Fretwell take the court. No ankle injury there that I can see. Moving pretty freely.
Down by 12, the Sunshine Coast Lightning. I don't think anybody saw this coming. Oh, Fretwell, absolutely no issue with the ankle to get a rebound over Sterling Humphrey.
Impeccable timing, Steph Fretwell on the rebound.
Impeccable timing there on the big get that out of here too from Sterling Humphrey. She's without doubt the best in the game on the block. Oh, have a look at that lean, Tilly Garrett.
Steph just playing that one there for the little step in. Well done by Steph Fretwell. Smart and mature work from her.
Well, Katrina, let's get down and have a chat. Fretwell been off the court for a while. The leadership you're noticing in other places?
Yeah, when we talk about potentially Courtney Bruce's leadership, she's gone from being a captain, coming into the Lightning, no leadership role as such, but she's come in here, a younger defensive lineup, and is she pulling the ball that she needs to? She's not used to potentially having such big margins against her. We need to see more ball from her, I think, and potentially maybe just, you know, cut a few theatrics and just go after the ball and go get it and lift her team.
Yeah, and Courtney Bruce, obviously capable of that, and I agree with you. She can go missing when she's being beaten or the scoreline isn't in her favour, but she is a brilliant player, and just like Sterling Humphrey does, can pull them out when her team needs it. So, well worth keeping an eye on. That's exactly where I think Cara Conan can do more damage. And isn't it interesting how she's coming to that now? Fretwell's on the court.
I think that baseline drive really opens up Shamira Sterling Humphries. She's able to get space there and create momentum for her team. When she's out at goal attack, Cara Conan, she can't do that. So it's definitely more a familiar lineup for the Lightning with Fretwell back on in goal attack.
Well, Ash Irvine thought that call could have gone either way then.
I'd love to see Courtney Bruce just put in the zero-phase defence work that Katrina's talking about. You really need to wear your goal attack down, and when you're playing goal defence, it's a really selfless defensive effort. You need to work hard, and sometimes you don't get the rewards, but it's the people behind you, like Ash Irvine, that will pick up the intercept.
Well, the miss from Fretwell, the rebound though from Cara Conan. Am I sensing some momentum here for the Sunshine Coast Lightning?
Well, they've got this crowd on their side, and they're always, they say they're 8th player, so they'll be really wanting to involve them. And as the score gets closer, we will see that happen.
Well, we just saw the stats. Fretwell sitting at 1 from 4, but the difference she makes in terms of the playmaking out the front, invaluable.
She commands a defender. You see Tilly Garrett cannot switch off, and off the centre pass, she offers Liz so much support. She's just as prevalent in the centre pass receives as Liz Watson, and it really mixes up the pressure there that the Thunderbirds have to put on.
My, Watson, smack bang in the best place for a mid-court at the top of the circle in the middle. Conan doesn't miss from there.
They're creeping their centre pass to goal rate back up to the 50% mark as we see Mahalia Cassidy go down in back play here.
Williams through. A lot going on. Off the ball. Spare a thought for our umpires. Through. Again, the quick 1-2 with Horges. This will be her 11th if she can sink it. She doesn't. Irvine, another rebound.
Goal shooter obstruction.
Another loose ball there, over a third from the Lightning. Just one of those mistakes. It's not necessary. Just losing their connection in transition, the Sunshine Coast Lightning.
Garrett. Williams. Horges. Through. There's the siren, the start of the Power 5 in this second quarter. Aiken George won't worry about it. She'll take the easy one.
Thunderbirds.
And it'll be an HCF tactical timeout to the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Again, up by 12, so can't wait to hear what Gold Tanya Obbs is going to say to her team. Right on the siren to the Power 5, though, so let's have a listen.
You know that one where, so I think Georgie was here and then you're just here. When you've got the time, come around that because it'll create like something rather than just starting there. It might mean that the fence will probably be in different spots now, but think about if Diddy's high, where's your entry point then? Yeah? Think about your feeding positions, okay, and then your repositioning on feeding positions. Think about your role, what happens now, yeah? Yeah? What we're doing really well is out here on that lateral. It's great because they're really deep, so we can use that one and then play it down that side. Well done. Okay. Blood on the quick too, eh?
Let's just changing the line. Make sure we get to that next time. Middle wide, we know our role. Let's go out and enjoy barley time. Fearless on 3, 1, 2, 3, fearless!
We see captain there, Canapetti again bringing them together at the end, asking what their roles are and then what centre pass we're going to. I found it really interesting that Tanya Opp spent time with Lauren Frew, just talking about her entry into the circle, not to get caught napping outside, watching the feed, get yourself in there and create something for your fellow shooter in Romelda Aikens. We see another almost turnover from the Lightning on a centre pass. They're rattled there.
Went through the hands of Courtney Bruce. She had to dive on it to win possession back. And in doing so, has made the court a little slippery. So definitely some areas for the Adelaide Thunderbirds to improve. This quarter's been much better. They're only down by the 1. Sorry, the Lightning just down by the 1 in this quarter. They can't get any closer though, can they?
They seem to be able to fight their way through this first 5-6 minutes. It's the super shots where we weren't able to see any impact on that during the first quarter, so they'll be looking for much improvement there.
Katrina Roray had her ear in the Lightning huddle. Any frustrations coming from Belinda Reynolds?
Well, it was actually Steph doing all the talking this time. So how great is it having Steph Britwell back on the court, showing her leadership, these timeout huddles. She's doing all the chat and saying, you know, give that first option, give that first ball. If you see the pass on, then give it to each other.
Well, just like that, the Adelaide Thunderbirds give it up straight to Cara Conan. I don't think that's what she was talking about, but they will take it. Liz Watson looks down to make sure her feet aren't offside. Conan, they get it back to 10. 4 minutes remaining in this second quarter. And they've got some fight back to do here in this 4 minutes before they head to the main break. Fretwell. Conan, interesting to see they're not taking those Suncorp super shots, Kira. What do you make of that?
I think Steph was posting up there in the arc, the 2-point arc, but Cara Conan, she's just more interested in getting that 1-pointer and getting the scoreboard ticking over.
Well, Steph had the ball there, chose to pass it off. They have got the last 3 goals here, but imagine if they were 2-pointers.
Return the ball, touch ready to go. Yep.
Both players just trying to get some confirmation from our umpire, Nathan Begley, on this side of the court. And again, just a moment to sweep up some of the sweat on this court. The players will take a big, deep breath here, though. Try to regather their thoughts. Wilson. Garrett. Well, has to go up and over to Williams. Horges. Courtney Bruce had a crack, but Georgie Horges, the presence of mind to realise Bruce is outside the circle. There's an undefended shooter.
Yeah, the Lightning sitting off there in defence, looking for that flying defender to come through, but smart work by Georgie Horges. She made the ball do the talking.
Steph Fretwell, well, got to nail this one. It is a beautiful arc and did everything but hit the bottom of the net.
Physically, between Liz Watson and Latanya Wilson, there's no love lost there.
Wilson, all the way back to Sterling Humphrey. Long ball to Williams.
Some good zone defence here. They've really closed down the defensive, the attacking end of the Thunderbirds, but they found their way through.
Has slowed them down considerably, hasn't it? Made them put a few more risky balls out. Contact penalty, though, relieves the pressure. Frew can't sink it. Aiken-George will clean it up. Best offending rebounder in the competition as well, Aiken-George. Oh, can't keep it in, my, but did everything in her power. Just under 2 minutes to play. The Adelaide Thunderbirds up by 11. Have weathered a storm from the Lightning here. Aiken George gets through into the 2-point zone. Oh, silly penalty, wasn't it? Gives through that long shot and really puts a nail in the coffin to this first half.
Well, there you see the third super shot for the T-Birds for the year. They'll be happy with that. Quick transition down court from the Sunshine Coast Lightning, but they're just happy with the one at the moment, even though sitting 12 points behind. Another contact outside the circle here. It is willing for the Sunshine Coast Lightning, currently sitting on 34 penalties to a half of netball.
Through again, she's got the hot hand. Aiken George again.
Inside. It's offside, inside.
Well, they've kept possession. Offside call. So Frew will take it, or throws it to no one, straight out of court.
Kath, what do you think is a score line that the Lightning would be happy to chase down going into halftime?
Well, it depends on where they're sitting. If they're not going to do the super shots, it's got to be closer than this. But if they're prepared to attack the post, we've seen teams come back from bigger than 10 points.
We need to see super shots in the second half, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, they've run out of time to do it now. 28 seconds remaining. It will be their centre pass. Williams gets a hand in. Have they got enough time here? Wood wants to still make sure they treasure possession. Batcheldor back to Wood. Plenty of time. Batcheldor standing in a similar position.
Fretwell for two. She nails it. How good's that?
Steph Fretwell right on the buzzer will finish the second quarter and half time to get them back to 11 the difference. So obviously a mountain to climb in this second half, but they drew the second quarter, so they'll take a lot of confidence from that. And now I guess the big question is how much of a game has Steph Fretwell got in her, because from what we've seen, she really does need to be on the court for the Sunshine Coast Lightning. And we're going to get straight down to Katrina Rore, who's with one of the Adelaide Thunderbirds.
Hey, so I'm here with Tilly from the Thunderbirds. So you're up by 11, but you lost a bit of momentum from that first quarter. What do you put that down to?
I think just structure. We've just got to stick to it, and obviously we don't want to lose that lead. So for this next half, I think that's what we're going to concentrate on, just sticking to our structure and making sure we just are clinical with the ball.
Tanya was very animated on the sideline just before. What do you think she'll be saying going into the sheds?
I think just when we're up, we don't need to be so panicked. So I think just make sure we control and look after the ball.
Awesome, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Looks like really they're talking about positioning there, so we'll see if we can maybe get Katrina Rore to go and have a little listen in. But interesting, obviously not liking the calls that are coming her way, and wants to maybe address that in the second half. So keep an eye on Courtney Bruce and her penalties. And we're going to get straight down courtside to the head coach of the Adelaide Thunderbirds, Tanya Obstans. Thanks for your time. You've got to be pretty happy with that first quarter, up by 11. Couldn't break away from them though in the second. What was the difference?
Yeah, I think we were probably a little bit wasteful with some of the ball that we got in the second, but I think, quality side like Lightning, they were probably not going to, let it blow out like it did in the first. So we still drew the quarter, so that we're pretty happy with that.
Tanya, you're a tough coach. 82% you're sitting on currently for your game to goal rate. I would have thought that was a pretty good effort from your team. Who stood out for you tonight, and who have you been impressed with?
Oh, look, I could say everyone on the court. I know that's pretty blasé, but I think everyone is actually playing their role there. Defensively, we're obviously getting that ball, and I think our connection through the midcourt has been really good. And I've been really happy with the way that Moz is playing her role. I think she's creating stuff for herself out there as well as for Romelda.
Yes, indeed. For a third game player, she's done a great job tonight. I've seen you getting really animated during the super shot period. Is that because you want your players to have a crack at those super shots?
Oh, look, there's some principles that we're trying to put into play, and we're when we do them, we have success, and sometimes we forget maybe what they are, and we don't necessarily have that success.
Well, you see there another fantastic intercept from your
great.
defensive unit, just working together in harmony.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Tans, we'll leave you to it. All the best for the second half.
Cheers, thank you.
And I want to get straight back down to Katrina Rore, though, because you did have a little ear in on the umpire chat with Courtney Bruce, Katrina.
I did try and get as much as I possibly could out of that conversation, but pretty much what Courtney Bruce was trying to say was that Aiken Georges are very strong under the post, and when they are setting up their 3 foot and someone is coming in to post up for the rebound, their movement is actually a reaction of her push, not them contacting. So she wants the umpires to have a look at that. And then the umpires responded with, you need to stay strong and adjust your body position. So that's what we got.
Really interesting you say that, Katrina, because having played with Romelda, her natural body position is almost in a bend, and it looks as though she's sticking her bum out into the defender or the attacker that's under the post. So is that a natural stance, or is that something the umpires are going to look to pull Romelda up for causing a contact?
And I've got to say, love the response from the umpires as well. If that's the way they're calling it, players adjust.
That's it. You've got to adjust to the umpire, and it goes both ways. And that's what Courtney will want to know, is it consistent for both ends of the court?
I don't think Courtney will care about that, to be honest. Anyway, let's get back to the action. Long ball finds Horges. And another one across the circle. So they're confident to let those swings happen, aren't they? Aiken George is taking enough attention from the defence end.
You're seeing that Courtney Bruce is going straight to the experienced shooter in Romelda Aiken and leaving Irvin on through. So she's taking that on herself as the defensive leader in that circle.
Well, it is a position she's probably used to more so as well, isn't it? That goalkeeper position, sitting back there and having a good look as Cara Conan keeps them within 10 here at the Sunshine Coast Lightning. Cara Conan has not missed in regular time. My. What have you made of her performance in this half?
Yeah, look, she had a very up and down start to the game. I thought there were patches where she really needed to control the momentum, and we see another ball go out of court there. Just the connection off that back line. We see Courtney Bruce giving Irvine a bit of feedback there. You've got to be calm in those positions. But for mine, Mama needs to slow down sometimes and really adjust to the momentum. Liz Watson off the centre pass is getting the ball fired through. Sometimes you just need to take the edge off it a bit.
Well, got a tip, Courtney Bruce, but wasn't enough. Oh, it's erratic, isn't it, to start this quarter? A turnover. Lizzie Watson. Swing to My. Oh, you wanted more from her. It's a big split, Liz Watson. And that was beautifully set up, beautifully held. Cara Conan, not beautifully finished, and she steamrolled.
3 players went down on the court like dominoes there. Again, just that ability when it's on to let it go, but when you need to go back to just structure and slowing it down, the Lightning need to control the tempo.
Steph Wood asking for some clarification as to where the penalty sits. Steph Fretwell, apologies, I will get my head around that. Back at play, Georgie Horges coming onto the court in goal attack. And Laura Sherry in wing attack. There they are. Well, that is a lot of speed up that attack line.
They're going to have heads moving down there, and that'll be one for the Sunshine Coast Lightning. Will they be able to adjust to that fast-moving, ball-swinging Thunderbirds front line? We haven't seen changes from Tanya tonight. It's been a very...
breaking goal attack.
Very stable side, but both these coaches will use the bench. They've used all 10 in both round 1 and round 2. So they're not opposed to making those changes. Fretwell rocks back, sinks it. 4 from 7, 57%, and the Lightning winning this third quarter 4-1.
Great start from the Lightning, just what they needed coming into this third quarter. So you see another loose ball from Sherry, was that or Matilda Garrett there, just firing that one across court.
There's your quarter breakdown. Have a look at that first one. That's where the damage was done.
The Thunderbirds goal shooter. It's injury time. Injury time. No, you said injury time.
Well, even Romelda Aiken George
Injury time is what you asked for.
doesn't know what's happening here. So the umpire, Bronwyn Adams, saying that Romelda Aiken George called an injury time. Aiken George clearly made a mistake there, because with that has to come off. So everybody's in a little bit of shock here, bit of confusion. Austin will come on in the interim period. I'd imagine that's just going to be for a second or so, and that change will come again.
A lot of confusion from the T-Birds bench as well. And Romelda was looking around as if to say, what injury have I got? Which she has none of. So she's putting a bid back on the sideline, goal shooter currently. Whether or not this upsets the Thunderbirds' flow, we'll see.
Well, look, to be honest, I'm surprised we haven't seen more of Austin. She was a standout for them last season, and she was their youngster. She was their future, and I appreciate how good Aiken George is, but I love the fact that Austin is now on court.
Yeah, Rookie of the Year last year for the Thunderbirds. She got her Australian Diamonds Fast Fives call-up, so she's had a tremendous 2023. I agree, Kath, completely. I'm a real Romelda Aiken George fan, but you've got to honour that homegrown talent, and she's obviously got a connection with Georgie Horges, so we'll see that now with her out on court and goal shooter. Another mistake there off the hands of Lisa Mai. Just the touch on the ball. They're trying to put it in quickly to beat the Thunderbirds' defence, but they're almost outsmarting themselves.
And Watson hits the deck. Looks up at the umpire, not loving this attention, but she would have been well and truly prepared for it.
At what point do we see that change with Mai and Watson?
100%.
Get Watson off the body of Latanya Wilson and get that run going through her game.
Yep, something's got to happen, doesn't it? Well, another contact, and this time it was Cassidy at the back of Sherian. That wouldn't have been the first time that's happened. Teammates last year. Well, Austin gets herself on the board. And they've got the centre pass to follow here too, so they can take this out to 13, the Adelaide Thunderbirds.
Just an error there, miscommunication between Taylor Williams and Laura Sherian.
Out to 8 on maths as well.
We don't claim to be mathematicians here at Fox.
Conan, long drive out. Watson.
Great drive from Cara Conan there. She was in the perfect position and she took that on.
Well, so was Steph Fretwell, did a beautiful little dodge ball side. Well, here is the HCF tactical timeout. It is going to Tanya Obbs, though, and the Adelaide Thunderbirds as they find themselves down by 4 in this quarter. They will not want the Sunshine Coast Lightning to get any more momentum. Let's have a listen.
Crazy. We need to just bring ourselves back to the game plan. Yeah, we just had a little bit of a crazy couple of minutes, but now let's focus on what we're doing. What centre pass we're going to? Oh, it's their centre pass to start with. Yeah, and then we know what we're doing second. Yeah. Let's just go back to winning our position. Okay, coming strong onto the ball, doing our job. We've got to go back to showing our intent. So we've fallen away from that. Rightio? Okay, it's regroup.
Hannah, look short for the first ball.
Let's work each other into it. Let's go back to what was working for us, yeah? We go back to our values. We're proud to play in team. What centre pass are we doing? Monday, perfect. We know what we're doing, and defensively we're shutting down that middle. Let's go.
Let's go back to being in control.
Yeah,
we're good. Let's go hunting on 3. 1, 2, 3, hunting! Let's go!
2 brilliant pieces of leadership there. Firstly, from Tanya Obbs. She didn't really have a whole heap to say tactically. It was the calming voice, though, just to get everyone to settle. Likewise, Petty came in and did the same thing as she now finds herself out on court in wing defence, the captain. Well, she needs to bring some of that calm.
I want to know what the Mundy centre pass is. Is that based off Hannah Mundy from the Vixens?
Well, let's keep an eye on that exactly when they get their centre pass. Fretwell. Watson. Bruce. 3 Australian Diamonds in a row.
Do we see this as the release of pressure that Liz Watson's been looking for all game? She's finally shaken Latanya Wilson, and now she's got some fresh body in Hannah Petty. Can she get that on her side now? Well, the Hannah Mundy centre pass was not throwing it to the Lightning, I don't think.
Oh, Watson again. Every time wearing a body, you thought she was going to get some reprieve. She is absolutely not from the captain, Hannah Petty. Fretwell. Oh, she was trying to wait for the jump to be out of the way. And she did well to pull the penalty, so it'll be basically a free shot to Steph Fretwell.
As we see the Sunshine Coast Lightning go to 60% on their centre pass to goal rate, and the Thunderbirds drop back to 53%. So for the first time, the Lightning see themselves ahead on one of the stats for this match.
So with the Belinda on that timeout as well, tactical timeout, she was asking defenders to stay front. She didn't care who it was going to be. One of the goal defenders or goalkeepers needs to stay front. And she wanted Minis to have a crack at that ball. Anyone needs to get ball out the front. But in that halftime show, we were saying how if defenders start to get ball or teams give them turnovers, they get confidence. And I think this is a great confidence builder for the Lightning defence, being up 8-2.
Have a look at this last 10. The Lightning, 8 of them. Well, what a way to respond after half-time. They are only down by 5. They were down by 11 at half-time. Here's your score breakdown. So as Katrina just mentioned, 8-2 in this quarter to the Sunshine Coast Lightning. Wouldn't you love to have been a fly on the wall at half-time and hear the magic that came out of the mouth of Belinda Reynolds, because it's made the difference.
Smart work there from Steph Fretwell. She just drove up the middle and opened up that space. Something they were really missing in the first half. Almost held ball there for the Sunshine Coast Lightning, but Mahalia Cassidy backing up.
My forces it into Fretwell. Will she take it? No, wants to get a smidge closer. And pulls the penalty in the movement. Wilson is out of play. And Sterling Humphrey can't do much from there. Well, Steph Fretwell, she's warmed into this game, hasn't she?
You know what, you say that too, but I just can't see Matilda Garrett was having such a great game, and we see here on the Harvey Norman replay, just that contact released all the pressure. In the first half, Matilda Garrett only sitting on, let's see here, she had 10 penalties, so maybe Tanya Ops thought that she was getting pulled up and brought her off. Great rebound from Ash Irvine.
Well, they're critical moments, aren't they? Or just taking the shot. They've got to have the rebound, though. So it is completely shifted.
And what I loved about that, Kath, Courtney Bruce ran straight to Ash as that attacking option. You know, Ash, when she gets the ball, she wants to get rid of it straight away. So good leadership there for Courtney to be able to step up and help out.
That's the crappy little ball that Linda Reynolds wanted them to let go. That's the censored version, of course.
It's the old one short, one long, which the Lightning haven't been. Everybody's running away from the ball.
Watson, my. Oh, dicey when you've got Fretwell right in front. Oh, and Petty's taken a big knock there. Straight away, she grabbed a hip, but does not want to stay down. Have a look at the captain, Hannah Petty. She's in a bit of trouble. Let's have a look at this Harvey Norman replay. There's the first challenge. And the second one, well, it comes from Liz Watson. And might just be a little winded, hopefully. Hannah Petty's not coming off. It's taken this line to get on the court. She will not go off.
She's a strong player, and she's the captain of this club. We've heard her at every timeout, just with those calm words. So it'll take a lot to get her off the court. Great touch from Courtney Bruce, and pick up from Ash Irvine. Actually, just amazing there from the Lightning.
We'll have a look at the difference now in attack too. It is flowing. The timing is beautiful. The ball is sharp.
Are they waiting for this super shot time? Here it goes. The siren goes for the 2-point shot.
Well, it doesn't look that way, although Fretwell's pulled a penalty in. No, she hasn't. She's just inside it. We'll take the short option to Cara Conan. They're back to 3, the difference. The challenge now for the Premiers is to not shut up shop. They have got this team breathing down their neck. Have a look at this last 10. There's a one little pink person in the middle. It is all the Sunshine Coast Lightning. Well, they cough up possession.
Contact call against Liz Watson there just for blocking out. I thought she was protecting the space, to be honest, but the umpire saw it the other way.
3 the difference. What a fight back. Gorgeous. Petty. Oh, she has the vision. Long and finds Austin undefended. Those have got to fall. Irvine, well,
contact with the keeper.
Again, is right there or thereabouts, isn't she?
Keeper's out. Thunderbirds.
Little bit of breathing room, but here's the Harvey Norman replay. The winder is good. The vision is good from the skipper.
I thought it looked like a step to me. Did you think that from Austin? Obviously, I'm not an umpire. Great hands from the outside there from Ash Irvine. Unlucky there to get the contact call, Mahalia. I thought that both Thunderbirds players crashed into each other. And the crowd did too, by the sounds of it.
Georgie Horges Would love to nail one of these and get some breathing space back ahead of this third quarter. Doesn't. Takes the short option. This will get them up by 5.
As we see here on the Harvey Norman replay, the two Thunderbirds ran into each other and the contact went against Mahalia Cassidy. So a bit unlucky there for the wing defender from the Sunshine Coast Lightning.
HCF tactical timeout to the Sunshine Coast Lightning. Belinda Reynolds surely is motivated by what she's seen. Let's have a listen.
Discipline around the edge. Try and be disciplined around the edge here, but still be amongst us so they can't get to swing to ball. Always be ball side, all right? Nice defence over the shot. Over Georgie's right arm, her shooting arm. Nice, tall, strong hold and a jump. Attack. Get to circle edge. Circle edge. No, I reckon you come front and then I can see if I can go front and give that shitty run one. Step. Not that. Take us on, yeah? Right? Yeah. Let's go now. We finish this quarter. Let's go. 1, 2. Lightning.
3 minutes to play in this third quarter. The Lightning now just down by the 5. They are winning this third quarter 10-4. So now it's the Adelaide Thunderbirds really struggling to score.
The game of two halves, Cass. We see Romelda Aiken-George take the court again with Tanya Ops reverting back to her starting shooter there and Lauren Frew back out at goal attack. So mass changes from the Adelaide Thunderbirds in response.
Defence end still shuffled around though. Tilly Garrett on the bench. Cassidy takes the ball. Watson, Fretwell, My, yeah, all too easy. Sterling Humphrey nowhere near Conan on that occasion. They're back to 4. Well, they get a turnover here. They score and then they're sent a pass. They're back to 2. Who's going to get this ball for them? Bruce, more than capable and loves these moments when it's closer. Gets the tail up.
Clutch moment. Just needs to be on her player there a bit earlier. Lauren Frew got wide and was able to feed Romelda Aiken. 1 point. Shamira Sterling Humphreys is currently sitting on only 1 intercept for the game. Now, having got 6 in the first 2 games of the 2024 season, she hasn't had the impact that we're used to seeing her. So that is an up for the Lightning.
Wouldn't be surprised though if she got them all in quick succession. That is the kind of player she is. But again, so much focus on Steph Fretwell now because they don't want her to take the Suncorp super shot. That's dangerous. Cara Conan home alone under the post.
That's what's important then. What makes the Lightning hard to play against? They've got 2 really strong shooting options that command a defender, both of them.
Well, takes the silence, or the noise out of the crowd, apologies. 5, the difference. Oh. There she is. Well, almost right on cue. She had to stop in the challenge because there was
Lisa
a player right in front of her.
Interesting, we heard, we'll go here to the...
Exactly why they were trying to stop Fretwell getting into that position. Down by 3, the Lightning. And a reminder, they were down by 11 in the first quarter. So they have responded beautifully here, the Sunshine Coast Lightning. Horges. Aiken-George takes it strongly. We'll take 1 minute to play for the difference.
Goal attack at the centre.
Romelda Aiken-George, just the 1 miss, 96%.
Great drive there from Steph Wood, really opened up the space there. We heard Belinda Reynolds say to her to get going on those drives, not just to dance.
How smart was that penalty taken from Fretwell? Slams the hands together. Well, we've got a ball game on our hands in this 4th and final quarter coming up to the difference. The Lightning winning this quarter 16-7. There's Unison Net points powered by ePower. Courtney Bruce, the lone Lightning player. Aiken-George takes another. Well, plenty of time here to score. Well, not really plenty of time. They've got to get it down and get it down directly. Watson knows it. Who's in the circle?
Great.
Conan taken.
She's in the arc, but Steph Fretwell will take it.
Steph Fretwell, massive shot. Well, she can't sink it. And you see it, head go back. Disappointed at the moment, but overall, the Lightning will be absolutely wrapped with their third quarter performance, the championship quarter, and they're down by just the 3 goals as they head into the fourth. Welcome back to Fox Netball. 3-quarter time here, brought to you by Origin Energy. And the ladies in pink under the pump, Kira. The Sunshine Coast Lightning well and truly breathing down their neck, only down by 3. And this is a real test for the defending premiers this quarter, isn't it?
Yes, indeed, Kath. They have had 2 games go down to the wire, so they're used to coming back and fighting, but they would have wanted to have this game on their own terms, leading by as much as 15 goals during the first quarter to find themselves now only 3 goals up. We saw Tanya Ops say during the third quarter time break, we need to regroup, and they weren't able to do that in the third quarter, going down by 8 goals. So it's a big last quarter for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. They've made a lot of changes. They've reverted back to their original starting 7. Let's see what they've got for us.
Yeah, what a response, though, from the Sunshine Coast Lightning off the back of a 25-goal loss to the West Coast Fever 6 days ago. They've had to fly back and they've had to put out this performance to chase down a team that really had them in a stranglehold after the first 15 minutes. Williams will get us underway. What have they got here? No strangers to tight games, the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Horges, Williams, through, Horges. Well, brilliant, controlled build-up, finds the target. Great way to start.
The name Georgie Horges there, 3 or 4 passes in that gameplay. She is the game play and she is the smarts on the court for the Adelaide Thunderbirds at the moment. She's making all those attacking moves.
Oh, that was lucky, wasn't it? It looked like it had landed clearly in the hands of Tilly Garrett. The contact call, though, well, Steph Fretwell, without doubt, single-handedly made the difference in this attack line.
Absolutely. As soon as she stepped on that court, you could see that everyone walked a little higher. They have so much confidence when she's on the court. Why not when she has that much involvement and is able to finish off with shots like that?
Yeah, when we're talking about the Lightning too, Belinda was saying that they want to have the what next mentality, you know, and they just want 7 defenders out there, hustle, hustle, hustle. They just need to get ball and they need to believe in themselves. I think that was the biggest message from her going through. But interesting on the Thunderbird side, Frew was getting quite a bit of physio attention, so I wonder if that's why she's been in and out.
Well, they have got plenty of depth, this Adelaide Thunderbird side, so if they have to make that change, I don't think it's going to hurt them too much. But surely, out of these 2 sides, you want to be the side chasing, don't you?
You do. That gives you that dogged sort of mentality. And here in the USC arena, this was the most vocal crowd in such a small location. They really are the 8th player, and the Sunshine Coast Lightning will be looking for them to get involved in these last 13 minutes.
Fretwell, well, about to say not super shot time, but she does not care. That one tests the ankle, puts her on stretch. The smarts, the quick 1-2 gets her closer to the post. Fretwell, well, she's lifted her percentage a lot as well. She was sitting in the 50s to start the game. Now up at 71, 75 in regular time. Garrett.
A much lifted defensive intensity, I feel, from the Sunshine Coast Lightning. They're really slowing the Thunderbirds down here.
Gorgeous. Through, out of the circle. You can see both the Sunshine Coast Lightning defenders just sitting back, no interest in Frew going out of the circle.
Just the contact there from Lisa Maimai, that's the one you just don't want to give away. It releases all that pressure and you see the feed go in easily over the top to Aitken George.
Well, they're playing with some control here, the Adelaide Thunderbirds, given the position they're in.
We heard Tanya Ops say we need to regroup, and that is taking the tempo out of the game. And they are in front. They don't need to play in the erratic style of netball, just score the ones.
Sometimes it's hard not to, isn't it, though? You get caught up in what's happening in the pace of the game. So this is showing an immense amount of maturity, as far as I'm concerned, for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Williams, Wilson, Gorgeous. Wilson again. Garrett trying to force away down court. A bit of depth. Gorgeous. Up the middle is through again. Both Lightning defenders sitting back on Aiken George.
Just happy just to work it to circle edge and then the feed over the top, making it really difficult for the defenders back there to have a crack at.
This will get them up. Whoa, spoke too soon. Aiken George misses an absolute sitter.
You feel that this is the one that the Lightning really need to get to goal and score from. And it goes flying out of court off the hands of Lisa Mai. Just that immaturity when it's time to hold back and when you need to let it go, and that was one they really needed to look after.
Mai, 5 errors this game, the most of anyone for the Sunshine Coast Lightning. And these are not the moments you want that to happen.
As she picks it back up, as we've seen all game, the person who makes the mistake has been the one to go back and get it. So great work from Lisa Mai there.
Here's Watson. As you pick up, so Mai sitting at the top there with 4, as you say, has been dogged when she's needed to be. Cara Conan.
And this is the one where I think they can take the pace off a bit and step into the circle with some control.
Well, they score here. It's back to 1. 1 the difference. What a turnaround. Mai home alone on the far side of the circle, and the drive from Conan, the connection from Fretwell. Hello, Sunshine Coast Lightning.
Great work there from Georgie Horger. She beat 2 off the line for that centre pass.
Do we want to talk about Bruce here? I went with, I think, the first quarter, how I was saying that Bruce had his leadership. She needed to step up in this game when they were down by so many. I think she's done just that. 7 games, 7 deflections, 17 missing net points. I think her leadership's starting to show down there.
She's out there doing her job, isn't she? Picking up those balls and supporting ably Ash Irvine, who's getting a lot of really great touches on the ball. And she's able to back her up and finish those off. So, yeah, I absolutely agree. Courtney Bruce has really stepped up in this second half.
Conan on the baseline. Lizzie Watson didn't like the look of it. They used the width of the third. And there again is that connection. Tried, tested. Won the difference. The Adelaide Thunderbirds, well, the Lightning just need 1 turnover here. And it makes this very, very interesting. Aiken George, though, steady as a rock on that occasion. Watson. Conan. What an attack line to have on in a moment like this. 3 of the Australian diamonds and starters.
It's on paper and in the flesh an absolutely outstanding lineup, and one that most people would have thought would beat any defensive line. But you're coming up against the likes of Latanya Wilson and Shamira Sterling-Humphreys. You're going to have to play your A game to beat them.
Frew did well to keep it in. Cheeky little tap. Bruce from behind got some brilliant air. Little chuckle. Well, she's starting to feel it, isn't she? And there it is. Offensive contact. So they score here, the Lightning. It's level through the hands of Fretwell.
And that's the contact that Courtney Bruce was chasing at the 3/4 time break, talking to the umpires about the backing in under the circle when Romelda's positioning for a rebound.
It is also this part of the game, though, that she starts to get in your head because she's been annoying you for 3/4 of the game. Some of that retaliation might start to come. The frustration. Aiken George got to sink it.
Timeout for Lightning.
Well, there has been so many tactical timeouts in this game. It has ebbed and flowed like nothing I've seen. HCF tactical timeout for the Sunshine Coast Lightning. Belinda Reynolds. Well, what is she going to say to this side? To the difference, well within their grasp, the second win of the season.
That's the one fake, all right? If you see him riding, fake. And that's where, if they're faking, we need someone to come and open up that side of the court as well. Keep that offset timing. Skill is our most important thing here. So when we have ball into our hand, we take a breath, we see all, we see the D, all right? We are putting an awful amount of pressure on them with ball in hands. Great job. So I want someone on hands and someone getting in between the little stuff, yes?
Reynolds, their coach of the Sunshine Coast Lightning, saying to Ash Irvine, don't ever believe that the ball is going in when it goes off the hand of Romelda Aitken-George. She wants her to almost ruck it out of the rebound and tap it back to Courtney. So we'll see a lot of that in this last few minutes of the game, I believe.
My. Fretwell, Watson, Conan. Well, Cara Conan, you saw that little movement she does on the baseline to free herself. Well, Latanya Wilson, being quiet for a little while. Williams waits for something, doesn't come in the circle. Horges had two options, through in front, Aitken-George at the back, and sinks it. Well, they give themselves a little bit of breathing room here. Three the different centre pass to follow, and just under 2 minutes away from the final Power 5. Through wants to get closer before she lets it rip to Aitken-George.
Good job keeping him up high here, the Lightning. But we see Georgie Hodges again, just making that drive to the pocket, opening up the space. A beautiful feed through to Romelda Aitken-George.
Well, that timeout, in terms of timing, hasn't worked for the Sunshine Coast Lightning, has it?
The momentum they had was lost as they come out of that timeout. It is a tricky time for the players to be able to get back, regroup and engage, but we'll
That's
see.
what they've got to do.
That's right.
Conan, quick out of the hands. Fretwell takes front. A little connection between the two has been solid, overcooks it. Fretwell, there it is. Beautiful front option and back option. Cara Conan doesn't miss from there, sitting at 96%.
Just those contacts there from Mahalia Cassidy, they're the ones that release the pressure and are not necessary as they come down court. Great, nearly there by Ash Irvine. She was so close to that one.
Those balls are in the air a really long time, aren't they?
Hanging out there.
They're straight up, straight down, as opposed to hard and sort of high.
There's rain on them when they come down.
My, Fretwell, my.
Persisting going over the top of Latanya Wilson. I'd love to see the fake, as we saw Belinda Reynolds say, get her going for the ball and then cut around in front.
Yep, they are right on the body, and she wants them to be able to pull the penalty. Fretwell hits one right on the siren. The Power 5. Fretwell is 3 from 5. Suncorp super shots. Needless to say, they're going to want to get the ball in her hands. Wow, Cassidy keeps it onside. What a take and what a moment to do it. Well, you talk about game-changing moments. Has Cassidy just picked one up?
We see in the Harvey Norman replay, she just read that timing beautifully and was able to deliver the ball. And we see a turnover here with that ball just placed in the hands of Lauren Frew. The Lightning was so wide in attack and could not penetrate the middle.
There's your turnovers on the screen. They blew out quickly in that opening quarter, and they've settled as the game's gone on. Well, the ball's going through plenty of hands.
Courtney Bruce really needed to get up and challenge that. She's still reeling after the mistakes she made, and she wasn't able to turn it around into defence. As we see another timeout call here.
Well, they're coming thick and fast, the HCF tactical timeouts. Again, it's the Sunshine Coast Lightning down by 4 in Power 5 time. What can they do?
We're going to be disciplined, but we have to contest, all right? We have to create something for ourselves. This means down here as well. No one gets away with them chipping the ball away around. Everyone's in and amongst the short ball contesting, all right? In attack, we bring in Rui in, but just wait for it for a second. Rui back there. We need to go still direct, chip away the ones where we think, but try and draw contacts in the 2, all right? We're going for this. We're going for it, all right? Let's go.
Belinda Reynolds throwing it all out on court here for the last few minutes. She's brought Riley Batcheldor on court in that position of goal shooter to do the job of the super shot. But she's not too worried if she doesn't go for the super shot. She's happy with the one. So answer me that.
Would you have made that change?
No.
No, I don't know that I would have either. We are not coaches for a very good reason. So let's see how this plays out. But I felt like they just started to get some good understanding and momentum in this attack line.
And the ability for Cara Conan, she's that release player in that second phase attack. She comes out and has a crack, gets the ball in attack. As we see them struggling here and have lost the ball.
Tilly Garrett coming through. The crowd do not like it. I think they thought she'd run out of space, almost out of court. Well, it doesn't matter at this point. The Thunderbirds up by 4. They score here. They'll have the centre pass to follow as well. Courtney Bruce. Well, she's grabbed the ankle. At the same time, she took the intercept. There she is. She's struggling in the back of play. But this is a massive moment. Suncorp super shot. Batcheldor blocked.
She's got the contact call, which the obstruction call, which Belinda Reynolds said still go to the post.
Fretwell has been good from here. 6-1. Steph Fretwell. Back to 2, the difference. They've got to win ball back right now. The Sunshine Coast Lightning. Courtney Bruce. Still looks like she's hobbling. Has she got it in her to come up with a ball? Irvin has been brilliant this game. Listen to the crowd get behind their team. Is it through the hands of Frew? Well, they've just got to keep composure here. Just over 2 minutes to play. It'll be their centre pass to follow too. It's important. They only need a 1. Fretwell, the step back, sinks it.
You want the ball in the hands of the most experienced players here, so it's the Liz Watson and the Steph Fretwells that will stand up and demand that ball.
She has been all the difference, Steph Fretwell, since she's entered the court. Didn't start the game. Batcheldor, the youngster, on. Limited game time the last couple of seasons. They lose it. Liz Watson out of the hands, goes unnoticed. Well, I can't say I've ever seen anything as blatant as that not picked up. It's even.
I'm stunned.
There's your last 10. Well, I'm absolutely gobsmacked as well. We'll try and get a replay for you of that moment. Very unlike the Australian captain. Aiken George. Can she sink it? It comes off the hand. Courtney Bruce swats it away.
Big hand, big high five from Ash Irvin. They've been working on that all game.
These sides winless last week. This one would mean everything.
Will we see them take the 2, the lowest super shot team in the competition?
Well, if they're going to do it, surely now's the time. No, Aiken George.
She doesn't want to shoot from under the post.
1, the difference. Let's have a look at this moment. The ball's on the ground. It's in the hands, straight out of the hands. Liz Watson. Do you know what? The kind of person she is, she won't be feeling good about that.
No, and I'm just going to say, I think the umpire's vision was blocked. It's the only reason that would not have been called.
My, Wood, here's the smarts. Here's the smarts.
She's getting
of
set.
The captain and the vice captain for the Australian Diamonds. Chewing up the clock because they don't want enough time for the Thunderbirds to be able to score after they do.
And she's pulled the contact against Matilda Garrett here in the 2-point zone.
They get this 2, the game is out of reach. If it's a 1, it's going to be a draw.
As we see the ball there go to Georgie Horges, it's a great contest, but nothing doing.
Well, it's a draw here. What a way to start Anzac round. There'll be 2 more 5-minute quarters played. 90 seconds now for the teams to have a rest. In this extra 10 minutes of play that we're going to see, the teams will change ends. Rolling subs and super shot remain in play. During the rounds though, if after this 10 minutes it is still level, that will be the result of the game. What a cracking game this has turned into. And like I keep saying, who would have thought this in the first quarter of this game when they were down by 15, as much as 15. What a fight back and what experience is coming to the surface in this Lightning team. Who wins it from here, Kira?
I feel the momentum is with the Sunshine Coast Lightning being able to come from behind. If we have a look at the score worm, they have not been in front in this game since the start of the match. So the very first time they levelled the game with 6 seconds to go. A huge turnaround from their team.
Do you think it was the right option to go for that one-point shot just then from Batchelor, or should they attack the game?
Age-old question. You go for glory or you go to the overtime. Look, I think right now they would be saying, let's just go for this and make it happen.
I agree. Katrina Rore, who wins it from here?
Lightning, this home crowd, what can you do?
Yep, they have certainly turn the volume up here at UniSC Arena. It is loud. They are on their feet and loving it. You can see some smiles there in the huddle for the Adelaide Thunderbirds, though. They do love a contest. They are the premiers. Tilly Garrett, well, she knows she's got a very, very big job on her hand, and it comes in a package called Steph Fretwell. Watson. So if you've just joined us, 5 minutes of extra time. There'll be a break and another 5 minutes. If it is drawn at the end of that extra 10 minutes, it will be declared a draw.
Cara Conan back on court now, Kath. Sorry to interrupt you there. She's taken her position back at goal shooter. Just not able to finish off that shot, Steph Fretwell.
Well, interesting though, because it still is super shot time. This whole 10 minutes will be. Liz Watson. Well, is that a little bit of netball karma?
I think you're right. It's a netball karma gods coming down to pay back the Adelaide Thunderbirds.
Evan! The tip. No one there to clean it up. Well, who's going to play with the maturity, the calmness, but continue to attack? Aiken-George has been rocky under the post, hasn't she, in this fourth quarter? That one goes for her. Won the difference. Through Williams, wide open. Romelda Aiken-George with all the experience. The most experienced on court, 216 games to her name at this level. Conan.
That second phase coming out there for Cara Conan just opens up so much for the Sunshine Coast Lightning. She finds the ball and the double play from Lisa Maimai under the post.
Just got to stay in touch.
It's almost
Sunshine
like
Coast Lightning.
both teams have taken a collective breath and they're playing at a slower pace going into this first extra time. Great rejection there from Ash Irvine and pick up from Mahalia.
Ash Irvine deserves that, doesn't she?
She's been there or thereabouts all night, and to be able to get that ball, Mahalia Cassidy, it's the goal now that Coach Belinda Reynolds will be looking for, to be able to reward the work of Ash Irvine on the scoreboard.
Well, Williams there complaining that she wasn't given room to land. She went up for that ball. Maimai kept her position on the court. That's a really hard one to call, isn't it?
So tricky, particularly around the edge of the circle. The safety of the players obviously comes first. As the umpire saw it, just wasn't her call.
Critical misses underneath the post from both sides. Cara Conan, that was just her second miss of regular time.
Beautiful movement there, but just too good, Shamira Sterling. She was in the wrong position. The feed was just slightly behind Cara Conan.
Yeah, ball was not placed well, was it? Liz Watson all over it. Your intercepts there, still in favour of the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Oh, Cassidy! Through. Gorgeous. The calm head. Aiken-George, well, gets them out by 2. There she is, the top scorer, Aiken-George with 37. Conan and Fretwell now quite balanced. That makes them difficult to defend. Oh, the ball, my, down the throat of Cara Conan. Farewell sinks one. Just like that, gets them back to even again. A Suncorp super shot.
As we see Belinda Reynolds get Riley Batchelor up and ready to come on the court, as if she didn't know that it was a super shot period throughout the whole extra time. Working around here, the Adelaide Thunderbirds, making sure that they get this ball to post.
Beside her.
Aiken-George, well, doesn't want to shoot it now. She wants the Suncorp super shots. Surely, given there's so many tips and contacts and everything coming at this stage of the game, you shoot them inside the circle at this point.
Want to get it to post, don't you, Kathy? We see Lauren Frew almost pass it there to Romelda Aiken.
Again, though, Aiken forcing it out. Running out of time here, take the one. Well, she could have done that 5 passes ago. The Lightning down by 1.
Great take there from Lisa Maimai with all the pressure of the world of Latanya Wilson all over her.
6 seconds, can they get it through here? The Sunshine Coast Lightning, they've got to be quick. Well, that will help. Silly penalty, Garrett. Fretwell, a Suncorp super shot.
Obstruction goalkeeper.
Well, she's going to get another bite at the cherry here. Both Adelaide Thunderbirds defenders out of play. Steph Fretwell nails it. Did not start the game, Steph Fretwell, for mine. She's got to be the best on court so far.
Just clutch there from Fretwell. She sank back there, got the call against her. She's letting everyone know that there's another extra time period. The Thunderbirds think they've lost the match. They don't realise that we've got to play another 5 minutes. So she was in control there. She got the call against Matilda Garrett. She was smart with the ball, got the obstruction against Shamila Sterling Humphrey, and she learnt from three-quarter time. She took her time, deep breath, and she hit the 2.
Do you know, even what you just said then to me is really important as to what plays out in this next 5 minutes, because it's about game awareness.
Absolutely.
And clearly the Lightning have got that right now.
The Thunderbirds.
Steph Fretwell does.
Correct. Thunderbirds went in for the handshake, and it was the Lightning that let them know that there's still another 5 minutes to go. So you're absolutely right, Kath. That game awareness, I would say the Lightning have got the momentum heading into this last
You would
period.
have to think so. Let's keep an eye on that. Steph Fretwell, absolutely brilliant.
I wonder if her loaded minutes are going to account for the fact that we're in extra time
she's not
now.
playing next week at all. It'll be a very light week on the training track, I would imagine. But at this point in time, she's got to be out there.
The momentum and the running through the veins, the adrenaline, she wouldn't be feeling any pain from that ankle, you would think, at this stage. We've talked about Shamira Sterling in reference to her leadership and standing up. This will be the time where she needs to be involved and to get her players the ball so that they've got the opportunities against the Lightning going into this last extra time period. Beautiful entry there from Lauren Frew. She just timed that beautifully. She puts that through.
Well, gets them back to level. Just keeping an eye on the scoreboards here. There's a different one in the stadium. So we'll sort that out. There it is, level. Conan, the drop back. That back foot gets her closer to the post. Cara Conan has been solid again, hasn't she?
She's lifted her game since she's come back on at goal shooter. She's really owned that second phase coming out of the circles. We see a loose carry there from Romelda Aiken-George.
Oh, it was close to 3 seconds through. Timed it beautifully, backed herself in a little closer to the post, and she is not showing any signs of being intimidated by this situation.
No, third game, first time probably to extra time, as we see the ball there just fumbled by Cara Conan as we've talked her up in the second phase attack.
Well, and that's the experienced player on court too. So Adelaide Thunderbirds, a big opportunity here because it'll be their centre pass to follow.
And that's just the contact there from Courtney Bruce, releasing the pressure and putting that pressure back on Ash Irvine. Now she's got 2 players in the circle.
Borges sets the screen so that ball can go long to Frew. Well, they're still not attempting any longer shots here, are they? Happy to go the one. But you'd love to see them have a shot at it and really give themselves some breathing room here. Put some pressure on the Lightning to have to go long shots.
As Katrina said in the pre-game, that's a step there. As she talked about, the lowest team in the competition for super shots, only having scored 3 for the entire season, 1 being tonight. So it's just not an area of their game that they seem to have filled the hole of Eleanor Cardwell, who we saw in clutch moments.
Tipper Dwan, yep,
Tipper
absolutely.
Dwan win games for the Thunderbirds using the super shot.
What they have done, though, is they've scored off their gain. They've scored off their centre pass. So in terms of ticking boxes,
they're playing that traditional netball game, Kath.
There's those gains too, 14 to 6.
Wing defence is out of play. That's it there.
They're up by 2, but that could be all over in a second if Batcheldor or Fretwell get a Suncorp super shot here.
We've seen some changes in the background, Kath, just to let you know that Tara Hinchcliffe has come on in goal defence and Courtney Bruce back to goalkeeper.
Hinchcliffe not played any part of this game, comes on now. What do you make of that change?
Fresh legs.
Exactly. A big deep breath.
I think Belinda Reynolds has said it all game. She's looking for ball, so she wants her out there hunting. 2 known hunters of the ball. We've got Steph Fretwell down in back play or in play here. Come down heavily on that left hip.
And taking a very long time to get up. Garrett concerned about it. She's not even participating in the attack.
Tears in the eyes of Steph Fretwell. She's off to the side of the court.
What a moment, though, for Tilly Garrett, Aussie teammate, to be looking after her and not worrying about what's happening.
Goes to say how much of a teammate Steph Fretwell is. And look, we don't know, but she could be in a lot of pain.
Well, she's going to be feeling that pain more and more as the Adelaide Thunderbirds expand this scoreline up by 3, less than a minute to play. Has that been the run they needed? This extra time period, they are winning 9 to 6 after losing the 3rd quarter and the 4th quarter. The only quarter they've won was the 1st. Romelda Aiken-George, is she chewing up the clock or trying to get closer to the post? Probably a little of both. Frew. Horges.
Perfect feed there from Georgie Horges through to Romelda Aiken-George.
Oh, is that a little too late for the difference?
Here now between Courtney Bruce and Romelda Aiken-George about getting the ball back.
Steph Fretwell is still out on the court. Batcheldor's got to sink it. They can't. Well, surely that's the ball game. The rebound to Sterling Humphrey, the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Presence of mind to maybe slow this down a little. They've got all the time in the world and a 4-goal buffer.
Body's contacting the fan.
Yeah, they're playing it back. They're playing it around, taking it all as long as they possibly can here. Because there it is, the perfect storm on the Sunshine Coast as the Thunder take their 2nd win of season 2024, and it was not an easy one by any stretch of the imagination, Kira.
Yeah, the Lightning there just falling at the last hurdle. Riley Batcheldor not able to finish off that super shot, but the strong work throughout that last extra time period from the smart feeding of Georgie Horges really made sure that the Adelaide Thunderbirds didn't leave it to the last few seconds to win the game. They had already had it in the bag with about 2 or 3 minutes to go. So a really strong finish from the Adelaide Thunderbirds.
Well, cracking game it's been here on the Sunshine Coast.